Hello, guys, and welcome to Odds on Champions League. One season more, we are back to analyze all the games, of course, with Dani Fisichella and with Alvaro Romeo. Hello, guys. Welcome back.
We're back. Ciao.
Hello, Edu.
We are
Pleasure
ready
to be
to
here.
analyze the games we have on Tuesday only. We will have another video for the games on Wednesday. So remember to follow with us the Champions League. Leave your comments, tell us your tips, and share with your friends. Don't forget also to press the like and subscribe. And I see Dani wearing the Liverpool t-shirt, the runner-up of the competition, of course.
I was hoping you were wearing a Madrid one. But I know.
Yeah, I don't have
Never
it with
mind.
me. I should. We will analyze in a bit the Real Madrid game in Celtic Park. But before, we are going to jump into Group E because we have the early kickoff in Zagreb, Dinamo Zagreb. Chelsea, perhaps it's a tricky one actually for Chelsea. We see a low odds for the Blues, only 1.5 to win this game after the controversial match in the Premier League against West Ham. Dani, bad start for Tuchel's men, and looking back what Dinamo Zagreb did in the Champions League, I was taking a look, and in 2019, was a bit long time ago, but they were able, for instance, to thrash Atalanta at home 4-0.
Yeah, that's true, but they didn't qualify in the end. And, they only won 2 of the last 33 Champions League games they played. Dinamo Zagreb, by far the most successful Croat team, but that doesn't make them favorite anywhere near to qualify for this group stage. Chelsea, bit of hit and miss. I think they were very lucky against West Ham. The VAR ruled out the equalizer from West Ham, so they should not have won the game. But nonetheless, they got the 3rd win of the season for the club that spent the most in Europe, or thereabout level with Manchester United. Are they favorite Chelsea to win the group, as many bookmakers make them? I don't understand why. I don't understand why people give the favorites to Chelsea instead of Milan. The question with Chelsea is, despite spending a lot of money, despite adding a lot of players, sometimes I think a little bit without any rationale, are they better than last season? Well, Aubameyang is going to score a lot of goals for them for sure, but in the long run, how well is he going to fit under Tuchel's? Okay, Tuchel's managed him at Borussia Dortmund. We'll see. No clean sheets in the last 5 for Chelsea that have missed, of course, Christensen replaced with Koulibaly. Only 1 clean sheet this season. Tuchel has made a few rotations at the weekend. I think if Chelsea play with Chilwell and James and the wing back, they are a very different outfit, and that's where the chances and the goals are gonna come. So I'm gonna expect Chelsea to do that in this game, but be careful with Dinamo Zagreb. They got goal scorers. They got Orisic, who's is a man that likes to score against English team as well. He did that with Tottenham a couple of years ago, and they qualified well in style with a lot of goals in the knockout stages. Both to score, I like it here, and that pays 2.
Mili is going for Zagreb to score first, both teams to score an over 2.5 goals. Most of the people here, Alvaro, expect goals. So do you?
Yeah, we can go on really and move to the next game, because I chose exactly both teams to score as well, like Daniele. So, that doubles up your bet, and I think that it's good enough, because Dinamo Zagreb, they haven't had a clean sheet for 11 games now, because at home they tend to score plenty of goals, and I'm sure that Orsic, he can be still a threat for a side like Chelsea that is adjusting their defense. At the end of the day, I think that they got a very good defender in Fofana, all together with Koulibaly and Thiago Silva. That looks to me like a very good centre-back line with those 3, but at the same time, they have to adapt to each other. Koulibaly hasn't had a perfect start in English football either, and I think that this Chelsea side is leaky as well. Thomas Tuchel has been insisting obsessively about clean sheets in his last press conferences, talking about it, because they were asking him all the time, you need to score more goals, and he was replying back, no, we need more clean sheets. And he's right, because Chelsea won the Champions League in 2021, leaving plenty of clean sheets and not scoring many goals. And that's so important for Chelsea, pivotal, fundamental. So they really have to do that, but so far they haven't done it. So I'm gonna go for both teams to score, and on Aubameyang very quickly. I don't have any doubt about Aubameyang. From all the players that Chelsea has up front, the only one who is a specialist and the only one who has been scoring goals consistently for the last 10 years is Aubameyang. And at Barcelona, he still scored goals. So I think that Chelsea has done a very good signing on Aubameyang.
Chelsea, to keep more clean sheets, they need the same referee, no, on the VAR room as they had against West Ham. Our friend Tom Rennie wasn't very happy about that goal disallowed. Lyle is telling us that likes the Liverpool t-shirt. Dani,
Thanks.
good one. This is a key game for Chelsea because if
we have
points,
a story where I got it, but that's for the other podcast. But
okay,
let's
be careful, Chelsea, if you don't win this game against Dinamo Zagreb, because this group can be a little bit tricky. We have Salzburg Milan in the next game. Milan, remember that they failed to qualify the last Champions League edition this season. Okay, they are coming from winning the derby, but they were unable to win away against Sassuolo and against Atalanta, Dani, and this Salzburg. They also showed last season that they were strong at home, even in the last 16 round against Bayern Munich, and now they know how to go through the group stages as they did last season.
For the first time.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. But if you look at the recent Champions League pedigree, you know who's got more recent Champions pedigree? Salzburg, because they've been in the Champions League for the last 4 years, and Milan only for the last 2 years. The only difference is Milan's got only 7 European Cups more than Salzburg. But nonetheless, this is a Milan side that this year has got a lot of pressure to qualify from this group compared to last year. Last year, they were in pot 4, very difficult group, and no one thought, okay, they're going to have a chance. They got knocked out of the group, playing okay, and then they ended and won the league. This year has a different history. I think with Milan, they showed great resilience, great team spirit. Everyone looks like they know what they're doing. At the weekend, after going behind against Inter, they won 3-2, but they were clear better side than Inter. Leao, is there any defender in Europe that at the moment can stop Leao on the left-hand side? It's had a slow start of the season, but now it's full into gear, and Milan have added quality this summer with the likes of De Ketelaere, with the likes of Pobega, Adli, but also young players that are gonna guarantee this team has a good future, I think. Magnan, I need to say about Magnan. I mean, he conceded 2 in the derby, man of the match. He needs to start for France at the World Cup, I think. He's one of the best keepers in Europe, for sure. Last season, 17 clean sheets in Serie A. The only concern with Milan here is that they got some injuries. Rebic is still out. He would have been a good replacement alongside Florenzi. I think we're going to see Origi here playing. Let's see. Look, I'm a little bit torn on this one because the odds for Milan to win this one are very, very low. And this could be a low-scoring game, I think. But I like to think that the keeper in form as Magnan at the moment is not let anything in. So I'm going to put my half a unit here for a Milan clean sheet, which pays 310.
Most of the people here are going for both teams to score, actually, for this game, because Milan defense looks shaky, apart from Magnan, who also saved a penalty against Sassuolo, and there is some trust on Leao. Marco is going for Leao to score first, and Ashbin, Alvaro is telling us that Leao more than Mbappe.
Well, that's quite a statement. That's quite a statement, Edu. I don't know what he means exactly. If he's gonna score more goals than Mbappe, or if he's more of a player than Mbappe. If it's the latter, the answer is still no, and I don't think that he will ever be. But anyway, yeah, Leao is a brilliant player, and he's been doing so well in Italian football that I've got nothing to say against this player, of course. But I cannot disagree a little bit with Daniele here. I think that the goals market is good, and I agree with the majority of our listeners. I think the goals market is something that we have to back here, because Salzburg at home, they tend to score always many goals. I cannot even think of the last time that they got they went scoreless in a football game. Maybe you have to go very far to the game against Lask in March 2022, but after that they have been scoring in every single game, and I think that they can also concede. They can be leaky too. So the over 2.5 goals is something that I do like here. 184, that's about right for me. And Salzburg, I think that they may have a chance to qualify in this group of the Champions League, not because the group is easy or anything like that, but because last season they already proved their pedigree, just qualifying for the first time through the group stage, and because this season they have done intelligent signings, not only Fernando from Shaktar, but also they got a player who are going to lose next season, Benjamin Sesko, because he's going to move to RB Leipzig. But Benjamin Sesko has been scoring plenty of goals, has been terrific, and even in the Champions League playoffs, he was one of the stars. So yeah, I'm going to go for over 2.5 goals here, 184.
Kishore is telling us Salzburg at home can score, and this is a fact. We saw it even last season against Bayern Munich. They were very close to win that game. Next group, Group F, Celtic, Real Madrid in Celtic Park. We haven't seen Real Madrid traveling to this stadium recently or ever, I would say. I don't remember playing, at least in the new Champions League. So the champions debut in the competition is against Celtic, and we are seeing a great Real Madrid, Alvaro, in these first games. Actually, it's the only team in the 5 big competitions in Europe to win every single game in the domestic competition, with Tchouaméni in replacing Casemiro and doing great. Can this Celtic be a threat to Real Madrid, especially after winning 4-0 the Old Firm this Saturday against Glasgow Rangers?
I really don't think so. I really don't think this is going to happen. The last time they played against each other, by the way, Edu, it was a club friendly in 2012, a long time ago. But when it comes to official games, we don't have a record. I think that Real Madrid has started the season very well. Many players are offering something new, like for example Tchouaméni. I think that he has been fantastic for Real Madrid in the Casemiro role, which is no longer the Casemiro role, because Tchouaméni is offering more perhaps physicality and box-to-box abilities. Then Rodrigo, I think that this season he's improving as a player as well, and he will keep on improving as a player. And then Benzema and Vinicius, but I'm going to single out Vinicius here, because I think that sometimes we say that Vinicius is one of the best young players in the world. No, I'm going to remark that Vinicius is one of the best players in the world. Let's remove the adjective young from here, because Vinicius has scored in a Champions League final, because last season he scored over 15 goals, because this season he's terrorizing every single defense in La Liga, and you put all that together with the fact that Real Madrid has really robust centre backs, which is something that is going to manifest itself soon. As soon as the games are tougher, Real Madrid is going to defend better with Rudiger, with Alaba, with Militao, and so on. So I think that the Real Madrid is equipped for everything, and the only caveat can be Karim Benzema having physical issues, because Real Madrid doesn't have a deputy number 9 for Karim Benzema, and we saw last season that when Benzema doesn't play, Carlo Ancelotti doesn't really know what to do. For example, in El Clásico last year, he played Luka Modric as a false 9, and that didn't work at all. What a surprise, anyway. Celtic, they are arriving into this game as the Scottish champions. They are obviously a good team because they beat Glasgow Rangers in the league, and they got players that are interesting, like Callum McGregor, for example. He's been doing very well, and I like Aaron Moy as well, a signing that comes from the Premier League. He did well for Huddersfield, not so well for Brighton and Hove Albion, but I think that this player can help Celtic build up the Celtics build up play. I'm gonna go anyway for this game for Real Madrid to win. I think that they are favorites for this game. I think that the money is about right. Real Madrid winning away 161. Yeah, I'm not gonna take it too difficult, too complicated. I know that sometimes with Real Madrid there are no patterns, in the sense that sometimes they score more goals in the first half, sometimes more goals in the second half. Against Betis, we saw that during phases they weren't as good as Betis, but suddenly they were turning up and scoring their goal. So since Real Madrid doesn't have a clear pattern, but their pattern is winning, I'm gonna go for Real Madrid to win, plain and simple. This is what they know, what they know to do in the Champions League.
I will go for the same. I will go for the same.
Most of the people in the live chat goes for Real Madrid, but also for both teams to score, since Real Madrid are leaky in the first game in La Liga.
Yes or no, just very quickly. Real Madrid are leaky, but then they play in the Champions League and they are not so much. So for example, in the Champions League final, they didn't score a goal. And the truth is that they got the best goalkeeper in the world. So, with that goalkeeper, Celtic has to really nail their shots next to the post if they want to score a goal. So it's not so easy. When Real Madrid takes it seriously, they are a terrific defense.
I like this angle from Alvaro, but I think I'm gonna go for goals here, and I'm gonna go for over 3 goals, which is 2.25. So it could be 2-1 or 3-0 each way. You get your money back. And why? Because Real Madrid are gonna take it seriously. If Celtic are gonna play toe-to-toe with them, as I think they're gonna try and do initially, they can hit them on the counter. And Celtic, it is a team that likes to attack. And I think after the great display against Rangers at the weekend, where they won 4-0, we're going to see a little bit more of the same. I think Postecoglou is not going to change his style of play just because he plays against Real Madrid. They're going to like to play from the back. They're going to play one-touch football, try to make quick transitions as well. They're going to try and be in the opposition half as well, but that could leave them a little bit exposed. I don't discard the Celtic making a goal here. They got Jota, who's in great form. Abada, the young Israeli, also playing well. O'Reilly having a good game. The only doubt is whether Furuashi is going to miss one. They scored 25 Celtic so far, only one conceded, and I think they feel in this group with Leipzig and Shaktar Donetzsk, they really have a chance to qualify, even if it is the first time they come to the Champions League since 2017. Never troubled by Rangers. I think they are by far the best team in Scotland. Rangers are far apart from them. I can see Celtic going through this group if I like. Over 3 goals, as I said, 2.25.
Indeed, the second spot in this group is very open because the other game is RB Leipzig Shakhtar, and we have a very weakened Shakhtar, Dani, after all the war and the situation in Ukraine, and we have RB Leipzig with a lot of problems in the Bundesliga. Only 5 points in 5 games. In the weekend, they lost. They were thrashed 4-0 with Frankfurt, so perhaps the door is open for a surprise in this group.
Look, Shakhtar is the most successful team in recent history of Ukrainian football. In fact, this is the 17th time they participate in the Champions League. But my question is it fair for them to play in the Champions League? Is it fair for all the other 31 teams for Shakhtar to be in the Champions League? It's fantastic that they do. But I don't know what kind of competition they can give to Leipzig, to Real Madrid, and to Celtic. They started it's difficult to talk about football in these circumstances. There is the Ukrainian league. They won 2, they drew 1, they scored 2 goals, they kept the clean sheet, but it's nothing like the team that started last season. New manager, the Zarbi is not there. All the foreign legion of Shakhtar, they've left, and they were all great players. Marcos Antonio, Dodo, Neres, Tete, Marlon, Solomon, just to name the few. So now they got a lot of Ukrainian players, some Polish players there. And also when they play at home in the Champions League, they're going to play in Poland, of course, for obvious reasons. But, Ukrainian football surprised us back in June when they won the playoff semi-final against Scotland. No one gave them a chance. And against Wales in the playoff final, they should have at least draw. I remember the Wales keeper did miracles, Hennessy's. So don't underestimate the fact that this is a very good footballing nation. They've done really well at the Euros as well. But I cannot see them really doing anything more than picking up a couple of points in this group. However, for the betting angle, I think the Asian handicap +2 for Shakhtar is great because it pays 191. So if Leipzig win with 2 goals difference, considering the issues that Leipzig are having, also keeping clean sheets, you still win. So 2-0 for Shakhtar, 2-0 for Leipzig, you get your money back. 2-1 for Leipzig, you win. 3-1, you still get your money back. So that's my end.
And Leipzig, they are having a bad start of the season, but they have a lot of quality. Alvaro, Marco is telling us, for instance, Nkunku, anytime goal scorer.
Nkunku and Timo Werner up front. No. Of course, if we have to single out the player, it's Nkunku. That's for sure. I'm still surprised that he didn't make a move this summer, to be honest. I think that the signing of Timo Werner was clever. He didn't work in the Premier League. In fact, I think that Erling Haaland has scored more Premier League goals than the Timo Werner already. I think that the stat was something like that. If I am not too precise, I apologize in advance. But I find it very difficult here to back Shaktar Donetzsk, because one of the key attributes of Shakhtar over the last 2, 3, 4 years, I would say, is the fact that they have plenty of technically gifted players, Brazilians, most of them, who could actually keep the ball. And I remember perfectly that when they played against Real Madrid at Santiago Bernabeu normally, and last season as well, I do remember, Real Madrid was suffering because Shakhtar was having most of the ball sometimes and making a team like Real Madrid suffer in their home ground. This Shakhtar, they was the signature quality of Shaktar Donetzsk. The fact that they had players who could keep the possession, then they weren't too clinical up front, and maybe they didn't have that appetite or that scorer to score many goals. But those players they have left, starting by Tete, and then we go to Marlos and Neres, who is not that technical, but he's a winger. They have left. They are going to play away from home. As Daniele said, how much can we rate the Ukrainian league right now? It's a miracle that it's been played. Simple as that. Some of the games are played next to a bunker, just in case there is some bombing and the players have to run away to it. So I think that maybe Shakhtar Donetsk are going to suffer a lot in this group with many new players. So for this game, I'm going to go for the following. I think Leipzig is the favorite. I think that Celtic, yes, has a chance to qualify. So I'm going to go for probably here the halftime, full-time market, home, 175, meaning that Leipzig is going to win the first half and they're going to keep the lead in the second half.
My batch is asking us, what about Werner? Anytime scoring, anytime goal scorer? If he's been scoring lately, well, Nkunku 4 goals so far in the Bundesliga. Werner only 1 goal. So it's better, in my opinion, if you go for the Frenchman in this case. Group G, Dortmund, Copenaghen. Dortmund last season, they were really disappointing in the Champions League, getting out in the first round, losing to Sporting, to Ajax. This season, we all know that they don't have Haaland, but actually they are doing great in the Bundesliga. 12 points, top of the standings. Royce scored the winner against Hoffenheim in the weekend. Alvaro, should we trust them against Copenhagen back in the Champions League? Since 2016, they didn't play the group stages.
It's been a little while for them, but this is a side that I think they've been always competitive in the Champions League. They have taken this competition too seriously. The problem is that maybe they are not getting into this game in their best form. They are 6th in the Superliga, the Danish Superliga right now. And, over the last 3 games, they have won only 1 this weekend against Silkeborg, but then they have lost. They lost the previous one against North Jylland. Then they, let's see how they can cope with a team like Borussia Dortmund, which seems to be a fine proposition this year, but they have resembled the fine proposition over the last years, Borussia Dortmund, and then they never managed to break certain barriers, right, and to break the roof and to qualify for semi-finals, Champions League finals, with the exception of 2013, which is already 9.5 years ago. But I think that Edin Terzic can be happy about the team he's got. Erling Haaland left, and it was impossible to replace this player with someone of that quality. But they got themselves someone like Adeyemi, for example. Then Akanji left, but they got Sule. So I think that the team is weakened because Haaland left. But from the Sporting direction point of view, they couldn't do much better than what they have done. And then Copenhagen, they are playing away from home. They come from the qualifiers. They beat Trabzonspor, by the way, in the last playoff round. But I don't think that they have the quality to cause an upset to Borussia Dortmund. Personally, I don't think so. They got a player, a Spanish one, that is okay, Pep Biel. Then they got Matt Ryan, former Valencia goalkeeper, former Brighton goalkeeper. He's good, but this is obviously not enough. So I'm going to go maybe for Dortmund to win the first half, and I'm going to stay there. That pays 180, and I do like this one here. Yeah, I think that Dortmund can have a very quick start against Copenhagen.
For me, this one is a game with plenty of goals and is a Borussia win. So I'm going to go for a Borussia win and over 2.5 goals because I think Copenhagen, yes, they started the season okay. They beat Brøndby 4-2 recently. They only kept 3 clean sheets in 10 games. And, normally with teams from the Northern Europe at the beginning. We said they got an advantage because they could play more games in the league. Well, not this year because they played 8 games, but all the other leagues they've started early. So I cannot see a great advantage for Copenhagen. 4 wins, 4 defeats so far. The game against Trabzonspor was a little bit drab in the end. So yeah, Borussia win and over 2.5 goals for me.
Siporings is telling us that German teams seem to be regressing a lot. They have to stop selling. I guess every single club in Europe, apart from the English teams, they are selling the best players to the Premier League. I'm talking about the Premier League, Sevilla, Manchester City. In this case, I think Dortmund have a lot of chances to go through because Sevilla, they are appalling. They are very bad this season. Only 1 point in La Liga. Lopetegui, the manager, about to be sacked. Dani. So I expect an Asian handicap here for Man City to win comfortably in the Sánchez-Pizjuán.
That's what you should expect. And if you go to the market, any Man City win with less than 1 goal doesn't pay enough for you to go for it. Nonetheless, Manchester City clearly favorite. Why I think doesn't pay enough? Because the stat says that normally Manchester City, when they travel to Spain, they don't do very well. They only won 3 out of the last 13 games in Spain. And last season against Atletico, they suffered. But this time is completely different. This is knockout. It's not a knockout stage. Manchester City are going to be home and dry in this group after 3 games. They're going to win all the first 3 games, I think. They're going to qualify and concentrate on the Premier League. I'm sure Pep Guardiola going to rotate, but the man is not going to rotate is Erling Haaland because they bought him to win the Champions League. And I think he's going to start every single group games in the Champions League until they qualified, and then he's going to be rotated. Look, are Manchester City unbeatable? No, of course they are not. And we saw them last season in the Champions League. But in order to beat them and to compete against them, you need to be very good in transitions, commit a lot of players going forwards, and also deliver very good set pieces, set paces. These are the areas where Manchester City are vulnerable, but no doubt about it. They're going to create plenty of chances. I don't think Sevilla are at the time being able to really trouble them. Look, I'm really interested to see what kind of midfield Guardiola goes here and what kind of midfield he deploys in the Champions League. I think we'll see a lot of Rodri and Gundogan and Rodri, maybe sometimes even Rodri and Calvin Phillips in some of the games if he wants to find a little bit more of balance. Look, overall, last season, Manchester City were the best team in the Champions League, and they lost against Real Madrid. We know how. I think if they replay the game 10 times, 9 out of 10, they qualify. Half-time, full-time, Manchester City. So if Manchester City, for me, going to be winning at half-time and carrying on the winning at the full-time, that pays well, 210.
And most of the people, Alvaro, are telling us to bet on Haaland scoring goals here. We have to remember that Haaland destroyed Sevilla a couple of years ago with Dortmund in the last 16 round.
Haaland to score 162. I have it for my ACCA as well, and I recommend it here. He has scored 10 goals in 6 Premier League games. Only a man called Mickey Quinn did so in the Premier League in 1992. Strangely, he ended up scoring 17 goals in the Premier League. Haaland obviously is going to score more than 17 goals. But, you know, Haaland is taking plenty of headlines for the right reasons. But Kevin De Bruyne the other day against Aston Villa did everything he could for Manchester City to win that game. I think that Kevin De Bruyne is playing very well at the beginning of the season too. There are some defensive doubts for Manchester City. Obviously, I think that not having Aymeric Laporte is costing them a little bit because the team doesn't play the ball from the back so well. But generally speaking, I think that Manchester City shouldn't worry about having drawn against Aston Villa, neither against Newcastle. Against Aston Villa, they deserve to win. Emiliano Martinez did very good saves. And, you know, I think that it's a matter of time that Manchester City tops the table of the Premier League. I really do. When it comes to Sevilla, well, Edu, don't get me started. If there is a side that has done it wrong over the last 2 years in Spain, is Sevilla. Look at their numbers only, all right? Sevilla has won only 1 of the last 8 Champions League games. Last season, they couldn't go through in a group, all due respect, with Salzburg, Wolfsburg, and Lille. It wasn't easy, but it wasn't too difficult either. And they couldn't go through. And then they went to the Europa League and they lost to West Ham United in bad fashion at London. It's a team that is slow, a team that is aging, a team that has lost the two main center backs, and we still have to see if the new ones are as good as the previous ones? My answer is no. There is no way they are going to be as good. And if you see some of the Sevilla players, they could have been transferred for Fenerbahce, Galatasaray, or Trabzonspor in 2020. I'm talking about Fernando, Jesus Navas. I'm talking about the likes of Rakitic. I'm talking about the likes of El Nesiri. Players who really, they are right now not up to the challenge. Let's see if Dolberg works for them. Let's see, Isco, another one, yeah. But they are slow, and I don't see even Lopetegui giving a proper motivating speech ahead of the game against Manchester City. He's a dead man walking. He has lost so many games. They have won only one game in La Liga this season. They lost 3-0 against Barcelona the other day in bad fashion, even though sometimes, yes, they attack because they were playing at home. The problem with Lopetegui is that he doesn't understand that your fan base and your team together have to vibrate sometimes. Lopetegui is just removing that from the equation. The other day, Barcelona was winning 3-0 against them, and he removed one striker, and he put another striker on the pitch. Instead of playing with a different system, trying to play with three strikers, whatever, Lopetegui doesn't do that. He's too conservative. And against Manchester City, I'm sure that he's going to try to keep the score, but it's not going to work, in my opinion. So I'm going to go for the following. Asian handicap minus 1.5 for Manchester City, 215. That means that if they win by 2 goals, you get your money. But I also like Manchester City to win and over 2.5 goals. Altogether, that doubles up your bet.
Who is getting sacked first? Sevilla manager Lopetegui or Leicester City manager Brendan Rodgers? My batch is asking us. That's a good question.
Brendan Rodgers could sign for Sevilla. That would be nice because he speaks Spanish.
Right. Yeah, I didn't know
he
that.
He does.
Next game, next group, Group H. This is a good one because be careful with Juventus as an spoiler. First game is Benfica, Maccabi Haifa. Great start, perfect start. Actually, Alvaro, for Benfica this season, they managed also to qualify easily in the preview for this Champions League, knocking out Dinamo Kiev with all the problems for the Ukrainian teams that we know. So, should we handicap this one with Benfica facing a new team in this champion? Actually, it's not new because they played in 2009, Maccabi Haifa in the Champions League group stages.
Yeah, but I think they're going to go for the handicap. Yeah, Asian handicap, of course. I'll tell you which one later. A little bit about Maccabi Haifa. Welcome back to the Champions League. Number one, they beat Red Star in the playoff, and then this summer they did their best possible signing, which is Franci Pierrot. It's a player that I don't know very much of, but it's an international player for IT, which is very exotic. And in the French side, Guingamp, he played decently. He's got good numbers. He scored 5 goals in the qualifying for the Champions League. So maybe this player can bank some goals here and there for Maccabi Haifa. But Benfica comes as the favorite. I think that Benfica this year are going to fight with Porto for the Portuguese league, even though last season they couldn't. This year they can, and they got themselves Neres from Shaktar Donetzsk. Neres, very skillful winger who played for Ajax as well. Gonzalo Ramos is still there, and he's one of the Portuguese prodigies. One more. I think that Roger Smith's side is the favorite for this game, Benfica. So I'm going to go for the Asian handicap minus 1.5 for them. It doesn't pay a lot though, 167, but I think that this is a good bet.
Look, I think Maccabi Haifa were really, really lucky to go through the knockout stages against Red Star Belgrade. I was an own goal. It was a keeper blunder at the Maracanã Belgrade, so I don't think they deserved really to go through. And also in the knockout stage, they lost 2-0 to Apollon Limassol. They beat Olympiacos 4-0 away. It's a very unbalanced team. Is a team that doesn't really like to defend. They go gung ho, and I think they're gonna pay the price here once the bar is much higher. They are a physical side which could pose a threat maybe in the earlier stages of the Champions League, but I don't think they got really any chances against experienced side such as Benfica. Yes, Franci Pierrot is interesting, already scored 5 goals, but this is one of the lowest ranked team in the Champions League. The last Israeli team to qualify for the Champions League was Maccabi Tel Aviv in 2015. I can't see them finishing third either. Of course, Maccabi Haifa. So for this one, you need to be a little bit creative. Let's not forget Benfica is a side that last season has done well in the group stages, but until they had, of course, Darwin Nunez. Benfica win and over 2.5 goals here. So if Benfica scores more than 2 and wins, you win 194.
Alvaro?
Yeah, I was going to say that is key for Benfica to win as well, because this group, I think whoever gets 6 points from Maccabi Haifa is going to be in a good place.
Yeah.
So they
because the last game of this group is PSG Juventus. Guys, by the way, remember to subscribe to our channel if you are watching the video. Dani, PSG Juventus, and Alvaro said that also because Benfica was able to knock out Barcelona last season. Ahead of this game, Allegri said that the game to win is not this one, is the one against Benfica, playing at home with this bad start for Juventus this season. I guess this is Allegri saying that we are not able to win in the Parc des Princes.
Well, but that tells you what kind of mentality they got Juventus at the moment. The same old against Fiorentina. They look tired in the second half. They didn't have a single shot on target. I don't understand why Allegri has kept Vlahovic on the bench for 90 minutes against Fiorentina. It was a game they had to win, and now saying that, it sounds like he's already defeated, but I think, yes, he's right. They are way, way worse than PSG. Perin, the second goalkeeper, because they haven't got Szczesny, was the man of the match at Firenze, and they were saved because he actually saved a penalty. Otherwise, they would lost. It was a bad debut for Paredes as well for Juventus. He gave out a penalty. Let's see if he starts against his former club. The only good news is that Milik is scoring 2-2. We should see Vlahovic. We should see Di Maria, but I think the golfing class is so high, and the way Juventus approaches the games, it's wrong. If they score early, well, you are in for a boring game because they will sit back, defend, and play positional football. PSG, maybe one of the favorites to win the trophy. They only lost one of the last 30 home games in the Champions League in the group stages. They're not going to lose this one. This could be plenty of goals. PSG to win doesn't pay very much. Over 1.25 goals in the first half, 198. So if there's only one goal, you lose half your stake.
Most of the people actually here expect goals, both teams to score, for instance, and there is some hope in Juventus. Alvaro, last season I remember, I think it was Chelsea Juventus that you gave some options to Juve. This time, no, right?
No, I don't, because I think that that Chelsea side was not as exuberant as this PSG side, especially at home. And it's not only that Mbappe and Neymar are scoring many goals at the beginning of the season. Lionel Messi is not scoring many. He's giving many assists, but I don't want to focus just on the numbers, because I think that Messi, Mbappe and Neymar, they are playing very well together. I mean, 2 weeks ago, Mbappe had a little bit of a tantrum, and he didn't like the fact that he didn't pass him the ball. But over the last two games, they have played very well together. Lionel Messi, last weekend, he was back to his best possible version, I would say. I mean, dribbling past players and being definitely more daring when it came to attacking. I mean, he didn't score, but he contributed in some of the PSG goals. And I think that this PSG side, they look strong right now, really. And they have a new sporting director, Luis Campos, who knows how to sign players. I mean, they have offloaded the likes of Idrissa Gueye, for example, and they have brought themselves Fabian Ruiz and Carlos Soler. And I'm telling you, these two players are very good. I don't know how they are going to fit at PSG. I don't know if they are going to start together. I find it difficult because both they have some sort of an offensive profile. But, PSG
so, Alvaro, for this game, you expect PSG to win easily?
I think so. Yeah. Because they've got the strikers doing very well. So PSG to score in both halves, I like it, 195. PSG to win at 30 minutes. I like it, this one too, a lot, 2.2. And Mbappe to score, 183.
Okay, I guess we should go for PSG. Let me know, guys, if you are handicap this game for PSG or you still have some trust in Juve. We have trust in Dani Saka, that's for sure.
Real Madrid to win, PSG Juventus over 2.5 goals, Milan Asian handicap 0, Manchester City to win, the total odds 5.89.
Sexy one, as Tom would say. Alvaro, your ACCA?
Yeah, Real Madrid to win, Haaland to score, PSG to win, and Asian handicap of -1.5 for Manchester City. I'm very hopeful here, 7.83.
Okay, thank you guys. Thanks everyone, of course, for watching. Let's enjoy one season more the Champions League. Don't forget to leave the comments and, of course, subscribe and press the like. Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
See you later. Bye-bye.